Many liberal-leaning celebrities have made their disdain for President Donald Trump very clear over the years, but as time goes on, many have gotten more vocal about their beliefs about what the future should hold for Trump. And many have suggested jail time is something that they strongly support. That's why today on InformOverload, we're going to be breaking down the top 10 celebrities that want Donald Trump in jail. And I just had to address, the elephant in the room here that I'm filming from home now with the new lockdowns here in Toronto. Y'all already know my setup if you were here for the last set of lockdowns, so please forgive any, quality issues that we might have with, the first few videos especially. Starting off at number 10, Cardi B. Cardi B has been very involved in politics over the last few years, participating in interviews with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. And she's made her stance against Trump very clear. After the Capitol storming on the 6th, she also tweeted out that Trump needs to be held accountable, saying, quote, "I don't want to hear this. We impeached Trump. He only got a few days left in office anyways. By the time he gets impeached, he'll be at his penthouse in New York already. How about y'all put him in jail?" But people in the replies were not very supportive of those statements, and pointing out that it's better that Trump gets impeached a second time because then he won't be able to run for public office again. And for an update, he did actually end up getting impeached a second time in the House. Because if he does get successfully impeached, he will not be able to run for public office again. This is important because it's not a long shot to think Trump might actually try to run for president again in 2024. I believe he's actually said he might too. And at number 9, Arnold Schwarzenegger. After the Capitol was stormed by Trump supporters, former California governor and actor Arnold Schwarzenegger uploaded a video to Instagram denouncing President Trump and his actions. He spoke about his upbringing in Austria and the night they referred to as, quote, "the night of broken glass," where violence broke out in the streets, adding, quote, "I grew up in the ruins of a country that suffered the loss of its democracy. I was born in 1947, 2 years after the Second World War. Growing up, I was surrounded by broken men drinking away their guilt over their participation in the most evil regime in history." Schwarzenegger then went on to place a parallel between these events, the events that took place at the Capitol, also blaming Trump for continuing to make baseless claims of election fraud and, quote, misleading people with lies. Finishing off the video saying, quote, "President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever," as well as asking his supporters to follow President-elect Joe Biden. And at number 8, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder posted a long tweet thread over the weekend after the Capitol riots, asking for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. Writing in the tweets, quote, "It is time for the leaders of this country to invoke the 25th Amendment. Isn't it obvious? Today has made me sad in disbelief with what is happening in my country, a country that has inspired my songs of hope and love." Then adding, quote, "I am heartbroken and astounded that this narcissistic and dangerous president would put lives in danger and encourage violent sedation against our government. That man is no longer able to serve as president because he cannot accept defeat. Can we afford 2 more weeks? I say no." And these tweets made it abundantly clear that he wants Trump out of office as soon as possible. And at number 7, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro has been extremely vocal against the president since his first days in office, making it clear he doesn't like his rhetoric. He said in an interview in 2017, quote, "If he was smart, he'd be even more dangerous. He's dangerous as it is. He's terrible and flat out blatant racist," and doubling down on that. And it's good that he does because he's going to sink himself. At this point, we're at a crisis in this country with this fool who never should have gotten into the position that he's in. Then in 2019, when the impeachment hearings were going down, De Niro commented on the situation saying, quote, "Can't wait to see Trump in jail." Adding, quote, "I don't want him to die. I want him to go to jail." Adding that Trump in office is an immediate problem, and I'm sure his views have not changed since that. And at number 6, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has been a longtime hater of Trump, taking any chance he can to call him out on his late night show, saying in a 2017 interview, quote, "He likes to have his name on things. Buildings, vodka, you name it. At this point, he would sign anything if it meant getting rid of Obamacare. He'd sign copies of the Quran at the Barnes & Noble if it meant he could get rid of Obamacare." Then more recently, when Trump was vocal about the possibility of fraud in the 2020 election, Kimmel commented back, quote, "It was a litany of lies, threats, just a despicable and incoherent attack on democracy and the United States. At the end of that speech, he should have gotten arrested. If they can find handcuffs small enough to take him away, they would have." Even adding that people should sue Donald Trump when he gets out of office. And yeah, based off all this, I'd say that Jimmy has been making his stance against Trump very clear for many years now. Top 8, number 5, Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin has made her disdain for President Trump abundantly clear over the years, even at one point posing with Trump's severed head, getting her blacklisted from the entertainment industry as a result. Around the time of the last impeachment, Kathy tweeted numerous times in support of it. One tweet said, quote, "My beloved Speaker Pelosi, please allow me to politely disagree with you on one point. Yes, the impeachment process should be a solemn and serious constitutional act, but for some of us, it's hashtag Merry Impeachment." With her celebrating the idea of Trump potentially getting kicked out of office. She also recently replied to a tweet by CNN's Jake Tapper, which said, quote, "I don't use insulin. Should I be?" With Griffin responding that Trump should be given, quote, "a syringe with nothing but air inside of it. That would do the trick," which could be fatal. And if she's wishing that badly upon him, which I vehemently do not agree with, by the way, I don't agree with her, dangerous and violent rhetoric here, I think it's safe to say that she definitely wants him in jail. She wants a lot worse, but she definitely would want him in jail too. In at number 4, Sophia Bush. Actress Sophia Bush made her stance against President Trump clear when she responded to a tweet that said, quote, "The president, a senior advisor says, he's lost it. He's been impossible to talk to throughout the day today and has been watching the coverage of the Capitol," with Bush simply adding, quote, "It feels like a great time for the 25th Amendment. And if you're not aware, the 25th Amendment states that if the president will not be able to fill their duties, the vice president will step in and become the acting president until a new election is held." She's also retweeted many other tweets condemning the Republican Party that has allowed this all to take place. And at number 3, Bette Midler. Bette is another celebrity vehemently against the president. She tweeted multiple times in support of impeachment, but she also believes Trump needs jail time as well, with her tweeting in December of 2020, quote, "Hashtag President Trump is not a genuinely good man. He's a con man, fraud, blot on the American body politic. He deserves to go to jail. Anyone who does not understand this is simple-minded, dim-witted, or a product of the American public school system, which teaches nothing." In at number 2, Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano is a very vocal liberal activist on her social media profiles, and a majority of her posts are critical of Trump. And she was extremely vocal about impeachment. She even took the time to attend the impeachment trial, but she did have a more somber view of the whole thing than people expected. Tweeting out while in the midst of it, quote, "It's a terrible day in our country's history, but, quote, great defense of our democracy." In another tweet which Milano pinned to her profile, the actress said she, quote, "expected this moment to be more joyful," adding, quote, "maybe jump up and do a happy dance, maybe, but I'm just sad and heartbroken. What he's left behind can't be erased with this vote. The bigotry and xenophobia he's embodied, the lies, it will take generations to recover." And it's safe to say she wants Trump to feel the repercussions of his actions. And finally, at number 1, Chrissy Teigen. The Twitter titan has had multiple public arguments with Trump, and she's denounced him several times over the years, saying in a 2017 interview, quote, "I've actually been a big Donald Trump hater for a long time. I've been trolling him for about 5 to 7 years now. I've been doing this forever and I take pride in that." Then in 2019, she made it clear that she supports jail time. Speaking to Vanity Fair, the model, who is famed for her Twitter takedowns of Trump, argued that impeachment is insufficient, saying, quote, "I think there needs to be jail time for him, for the whole family. I feel like he still gets away with everything if he gets out of his office. I know that after his first tweet after he's impeached will be, quote, I don't want to be there anyway." So guys, that is all for the video today. Let me know what you're thinking down below about all this. Do you think that Trump should be in jail? It's basically a recent update that he was just impeached for the second time. The only president in history to be impeached twice, but he has not been removed. And I guess now it's going to go to the Senate and they're going to vote if he will be removed this time. So it's kind of up in the air. I believe he only has about 5 days in office now at this point, so I don't think that they'll be able to do that fast enough to get him impeached, because at this point I think it's clear they just want him impeached so they don't have to deal with him in 2024. And there have actually been some theories online that Republican senators might actually agree to impeach Trump as well so that they don't have to deal with him in 2024 either, because if you're a Republican senator right now, you might be thinking of running for president in 2024. So there's really a lot up in the air here, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, and maybe after his presidency to see who does sue him, because I've heard companies trying to sue the government. They might go after him personally. There's just a lot going on here. So guys, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, respectfully of course, because obviously, this is a political topic. I'm not going to do comments today, but make sure to leave a comment below and I will shout it out in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you made it all the way here, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel below if you liked it. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and I will catch you all in the next one.